Well, good morning. Cut my head off. Not a bad thing for some people. Just sporting me new John Scoots and Soul Lambretta seats. I forgot who I was for a minute. Just sporting me new top that Jane's just printed for me. Nice little triple Lambretta one. It was for sale, but it's not anymore because I've got it. Anyway, I thought I'd well, show you little things I got. So I've set up a new camera system. So I've got one on the sewing machine over there. I'm going to video me doing some sewing, but I've got a new little device here. So I've got my iPhones on a I don't know what it's called, to be honest. It's a little remote thing with one of them pulley up sticks, and I can just activate it on from here, so turn it on and off basically. I thought I'd do a video today. I've got a spare wheel cover to do for a really lovely scooter for a customer. The scooter's called Boogaloo Investigator. We did him a seat, I think it was a couple of years ago actually, in red flake. This is a new red flake. So yeah, I thought I'd just show you why you have to pay a little bit more for some of the stuff that we do. We don't I refuse to just, well, when I refuse to copy people, consciously copy, but also because I think that restricts you actually, but also what was I going to say? This is me all over. I forget what I'm going to say. I start waffling on, going off on a tangent. I just want to make things better. I want to make things that last longer. I want to make things that, while they're lasting, they're nicer to be, to use. So I'm hunting all the time for not only the best products, but also, ways of doing things that's slightly different. So anyway, I am going to show you what I do with these spare wheel covers. I don't like doing this very often, certainly with the seats, because unfortunately there's an awful lot of companies out there, individuals really, that sort of want to copy your ideas and stuff. There's certain parts of our business are patented, trade protected, but there's some that aren't, so it's just not practical to do that. So anyway, enough waffling. Spare wheel cover, red metal flake. We're going to have a pocket in this. So what I've done is I've already done this. So we've lined the back with a waterproof lining, and I've lined some felt, because what's going to happen is this is going to go onto here eventually, and there's going to be your pocket. So you've got a felt lined pocket that's waterproofed at the back. I'm not going to do this all in red flake. The flake is expensive. There's not a huge amount of money in these covers, and there's no need to do certain things. So what I'm going to join these together. I'll do that on the other camera, so that can go over there. And then we've got some basket weave here, just here. This is going to be for the border, and I'm going to mark that out and join it up, put the zips on, etc. So I won't let you see this bit because it's probably less boring than what you've just seen, but it's a little bit boring. Pre-cut piping strips, so I make the piping. I very rarely use auto piping, to be honest. So I'm going to hand make that, and I'm just going to cut this out, and then you'll have to pick me up once I've chopped this up and start to join. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to let you watch me mark out some borders, and if anyone wants to chuck some comments in, etc., then feel free. I'm just looking at my measurements at the moment. I think this is 67. Yep. Let's just do that. This is for the top panel of the spare wheel cover. Let's mark this out. I think the way I do things is a little bit unconventional, because I'm actually self-taught. A self-taught upholsterer. And I'm self-taught, well, I suppose this class is coach trimming. So everything you see that I do, I taught myself. Basically because no one would teach me anything when I was younger. It was growing up in the well, growing up in the 80s as far as work goes, you know, getting out of school early without any qualifications, just to get shoes on your feet, etc. You don't have a lot of choice, and no apprenticeships. I didn't want to do YTS. Anyone that don't know what YTS is, it was a youth training scheme back in the 80s. I can't remember how much, you'll have to put in the comments how much people used to get, but I think from memory it was 25 quid a week, something like that. Absolute rubbish. I mean, it's good in a way because you were obviously learning how to do stuff, but all I wanted was to buy my first Lambretta, and I went and cut lettuces in a field. I got £165 a week. It's you know, my son did it, or my daughter, crumbs, I'd be saying, what the heck are you doing? Which I'm sure my dad did at the time. But do you know what? You learn, well, I'm not telling you how to suck eggs or whatever, but you know, you learn things in life, don't you? You don't have to just, you know, go to school or whatever to learn stuff. I mean, I learned by cutting lettuces in the field and having to put my hand in stinging nettles because the boss was driving past. Otherwise you get sacked. I learned that I never want to cut another lettuce in my life, and I needed a trade. So my dad helped me out originally because he was a carpenter, and he said, you've got to get a trade, manual trade. So that's been my mentality ever since. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to stop waffling on about all that old rubbish. It's history. Right, so I've marked out the top. I need to do the zipping. So I know what it is. It's blah blah blah. Yeah, there we go. I've changed the measurements on this only the other day. I do change things. Oh, by the way, we got a new dual seat coming out, and it's a hinge dual seat. So if you've seen our solo seats, hinge seats, I've just had nothing but, I mean, we did about, I think the first 30, I told all the customers, you know, give me the feedback, tell me how you're getting on with the ride, tell me how you're getting on, brackets, all the rest of it, because, you know, we're all guinea pigs for businesses, scooter businesses. I am for the stuff I get for my scooters. When new companies come up, or they come up with new products, they've really gone down a storm, those solo hinged. They are unique. I'm not going to go into why they're unique, but they are unique, and there's a reason why they're so comfortable, and it's got nothing to do with gel. You don't need gel in a seat. Yeah, I'm sure it helps certain situations, especially when you get a very small, thin seat, but is it that noticeable? I always say, if you want absolute comfort, get in your car, sit on your couch. You're bolting a seat onto an old Lambretta, you know. And they are quite, most seats are comfortable when you've just built a Lambretta, because everything's all ship shape. But when things start to go a little bit, you know, the engine mounts, etc., you feel it. As you know, you feel it through your legs, you feel it through your backside. I always say the sign of a good seat is that if you've been riding around on a scooter and it's vibrations going through your bum and all the rest of it, when you change your seat, if you suddenly feel the vibrations through your legs, that is a sign. This is just from my experience from riding and making seats. That's a sign of a good seat, because obviously you can't feel it in your backside. It's accentuated through your legs. So anyway, I'll comment. So stick some comments on. I don't care what you say, to be honest. If anyone's rude, I'll just get rid of them. But the dual seat, I'm pointing over there because that's where it was this morning. It's not even there now. It's gone. I'm sending it off. So I work with GRP, Chris at GRP in Leicester, who is an absolute top bloke. Anyone that knows him will agree with me on that. And K2 Custom. We have a very, very good relationship, very trustworthy relationship. I will only use, where possible, and it is 99% of the time, I will only use products and materials that are produced in this country. So when we say made in Great Britain, British made, handmade, whatever, it really is. I don't import stuff from Asia, Malaysia, or wherever. I don't do that. I got nothing against it. It's just that I want it British. British scooter boys. I was in a scooter club in France a long time ago, and you know, the French experience is totally different to the British experience, as I'm sure the Italian and the Spanish and all the rest of it. And I'm not knocking any of it because we had a brilliant time there. But there's just something, obviously being a Brit, there's something about the British scooter boy culture that everyone wants all over the world. They all want a bit of it, and it tries to get duplicated and all the rest of it, which is fair enough, because actually, you know, the people, scooter boys and that actually go abroad and go to Euro Lambrettas and that abroad or wherever what they're doing, they bring a bit of that culture back here as well. So it's all good. But I always say 100% British scooter boy, and that's how I like to run the business. Waffling again, you see. So going back to this dual seat, the dual seat is literally an extension of the solo hinge seat. So yeah, I can't wait. That's just going off tomorrow. Keith's going to be on the hinge. So we've done all the hinge and everything. We've done the base. We're now just working on a new layout for the rear plate, catch plate, etc. And the important thing with these seats is, and anyone that's got one of our seats, the solos, because this is what I'm talking about at the moment, is, as well as a dual hinged, is that the important thing is that you are sitting, the seat is sitting, all that weight is sitting on two little soft compound rubbers, and the catch plate latches in, and you're literally sitting on those two rubbers. So, and the front end's got anti-vibration rubbers on the hinge, and you've got the rubbers on the back. So it's important that when you're pushing those down, it clicks. You hear an absolute definite click on the back there. Yeah, and I say I've had good feedback, very good feedback. So right, let's get back to this. If you've got any comments, please fire away. Good or bad, you just say it. You just say what you think, and I'll be black and white with any replies. I might not reply at all, to be honest. Sometimes I can't be bothered. I'll try. But yeah. So right. So we're now cutting. Going back to this cover, we are now cutting the zip area. So the zipping we use, let me just show you, although you're going to see it anyway. So the zipping we use, and the, sorry about the workshop, it's a bit of a mess, but this is real life. And I'm sorry about my legs, but it's hot. So this is what we use. This is a heavy duty zip. These little beasts. There's no Mickey Mouse stuff I use on these. It's going to be used outside, so it's got to be good. So right, I am going to, right, this is what I do. Apart from say right 100 times, I lose things. I nearly lost that. So I am actually going to turn you off for a minute before you fall asleep, and just cut these. Okay, come back to you in a sec. Has it gone off? No, not gone off. Try it again. It's not gone off. Look, rubbish. Look, gadgets, internet, nightmare. Welcome back. So what I've done now is I've cut out 4 strips. This is for the zipping. I put a line across there, because what I'm going to do, if I just grab the zip, again, apologies for the workshop, but you know, it's a workshop at the end of the day. It's not a showroom. Got a bit of a showroom over here. So we're going to cut some zipping. Again, this is heavy duty zip. Stick that over there. Put that bit deeper up. It's amazing with these things, you know, because I've made loads of covers. As I said before about copying and that, I've done things probably similar to other people. You can't help it. But I could have saved myself an awful lot of time just by buying someone else's product and then just stripping it down and copying it. I mean, a lot of time. But again, I just refuse to do it. I just think it's just to be fair on other people, because it's really hard out here. Not just in this industry, but All industry, obviously, at the moment, and it is really hard in the scooter industry. We're all getting older. People are going across to the auto stuff, which I don't have anything to do with. And yeah, there's sort of less of us about, and we're just very lucky that we've got a very loyal customer base that like what we do. But yeah, so what we're going to do now, I am going to go across. I'll cut the zips. I'm going to go across to the other camera, and I'm going to do a bit of machining, and I'll catch you there. Well, here we are. So I'm at the machine now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the cottons over. I don't know what this video is going to come out like, because it's the first time I'm using this camera properly. Well, no, tell a lie. We went to a camper van show at the weekend, Newark, and what a disaster that was. What a disaster. Because when I was doing we got these little microphones, and when I was doing this is on our other channel, so we've got a channel called The Cambridges, because that's our surname, Cambridge. Wife's Too Short. So if you haven't actually seen that, it's nothing to do with scooters. Obviously, inevitably, a bit of scootering gets in there, but that's to do with just us, as our lives really. Right, what I'm doing now. Oh yeah, and the microphone. I went like that and pressed the microphone off. So Jane's shouting like that, and I'm whispering like that, which is not a bad thing. It's not often that she gets to mute me, to be fair. Where are we? I'm looking for a black. Oh, I've got one on there. So for those of you who don't know, some might, but I'm doing the bobbin now. So I've taken the bobbin out of here, and I'm going to take this one off here. Right. Cotton. So even the cotton that we use, this cotton in here, and hold on because I am going to check that this is actually filming. Let me see, because I can't see on the front screen. Is it filming? Oh, sorry for the wobble. Yep, that's filming. Apologies for the wobble. I had to tap the screen, and it's on one of the cameras on one of them tripod things. So the cotton we use, I'm not going to say what it is, but it is an outdoor cotton. So it's got all the properties that you need for outdoor products, mildew and all the rest of it, bleach. While I'm talking about cotton, I will just say, anyone who's got a black seat, handmade seat, not these things you buy off the shelf normally. Anyone who's got a handmade seat and you've got a black cotton on it, you will have noticed that, and it happens in the bike world and the scooter world, you'll have noticed that, especially when you've been to the seaside, you get like a crystallised, the cotton goes white and it looks like the cotton's cheap and it's bleached out. But I can't speak for other companies because I don't know what cottons they use, but I'm sure that anyone in this country will be using a good grade cotton. Now this is the best that I can find anyway. It's fantastic quality, it's very expensive, but it's crystallisation. So if you have got that, whether it's a motorbike seat, scooter seat, whatever, just get an antimicrobial cloth, get a dampen it, sort of warm water really, that's how I do it, and just rub in the direction of the stitch and it will disappear. It's salt crystals. That's what, no one can tell me what it is, but I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it's just salt crystals. Some of it's sweat, some of it, off your derriere, your bottom, and some of it is, especially when you go to the coast, obviously the salty sea air. That's where most of it comes from, but not all of it. So yeah, just do that. Piping. This is the piping. So this is where is it? Let me grab it. So the bit I was showing you earlier, these strips that I cut, I do these slightly different to what I call normal upholsterers and stuff, because I taught myself. I have my own little method. In that I dropped it. In that I actually cut these, I think, a little bit narrower than standard. But I've done it for years. I've always done it. I'm fully aware of it. You might have Jane come in a minute because I could just hear our little door thing going off, door chime. So she's probably on her way. Right, so let's get the zip, which is here, and then let's do some joining. So, ooh, I've dropped that all over the place. So I'm going to join these. I'm going to shut up while I'm doing it, and then I might turn the camera off at this point because there's a little trade secret going on here. So I'll come back to you in a second. Well, that was Jane. I've done my little trade secret. Jane's just walked in. Say hello to everyone, Jane.
No, because I'm not even.
So this t-shirt I got on.
Just sold one.
Oh, it's raining.
I know. I've got to go and close the.
The skylight. All right. See you later, alligator.
Oh my God, it's really raining.
It's really raining.
Look at it. I can't even get out.
Go on, you've got to get out. You've got to close the skylight.
Look how bad it is.
Don't fall over.
What am I going to put on my head? Look, it's really bad. The scooter's getting wet and everything.
Oh, bear with me. Scooter's getting wet. Welcome back. Oh my lord, that was a palaver. British weather, eh? So, did you notice that? When Jane said she was going to get wet because the skylight was open in the house, I laughed and said you just have to get on with it. And then when she said the scooter was getting wet, I was out like a shot. That's terrible. I should feel bad, but I find it funny. Oh, let me get that. Yeah, I've got a little gazebo thing up out here, and I've got a Bobby Womack scooter sitting under it. So I've been testing both the scooters, and Bobby Womack's running beautifully, but a few little issues with the GP, but they're all going to get sorted. That's actually up for sale, by the way, so $7,500, that's what I want for it. And someone did say to me that they were bidding on it, but they didn't want to pay $7,500. I said, well, I don't mean to be horrible, but you're not going to have it then, because I want someone that's got Pete Robinson and Don Bloxage engraving and that on it. You know, you can't get that anymore because fortunately they're both deceased. So anyway, let's get on with this cover. I'm going to join the zip. So let's have a little go at this. The annoying thing about the camera I'm actually using at the moment is DJI 4, whatever it is. I'm rubbish with all the technical stuff. I'm not very good with, to be honest. But its screen goes off. I know you can set it, but it keeps going off. So I don't know whether it's filming or what it's doing. Let's just set that a bit higher. Right. So we are joining the zip. The only reason I'm keeping this camera going while I'm waffling on is because I actually watch vloggers, and got so into them. I mean, a couple that we watch, they just film themselves brewing a cup of tea and stuff like that, and we just sit and watch it. We must lead boring lives. But I just find it fascinating. I think it's really good actually, because if you suffer with any sort of anxiety, social anxiety or anything, or you just can't be bothered, it's nice to be able to integrate a little bit, or at least watch people that seem nice, but not have to get involved in it all. So, and you can sit there moaning at the screen, going, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that. Oh, what are you doing?" You know, as long as you don't put it in writing, and it's nice. We never mean any harm by it, but it's easy to criticise others, as I'm sure I'm getting criticised now by some. But I always think, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. There's no point in upsetting people for no reason. We're all just trying to get on with life. Right, so joining this zip. I used to do this a different way. This is sort of a bit of a shortcut. This good shortcut. I've just done a cover with S-type on it. I don't know if any of you have seen that, with the customer's sort of signature going across. It was in black and cream. What a beautiful Arthur front. Was it? No, Super S-type, it said on the pocket. If you have a look on our Facebook page, you'll see that one. I can't wait till the customer gets it, because like a lot of these things, they look nice in the photos, but generally nowhere near as nice as they do in the flesh. I can't wait to see that one. But also, he had two Lucas spotlight covers. We have actually got permission from AF to use their logo, etc. You can't just go, we shouldn't go just using people's logos, trademarks, etc. And we wouldn't like it if someone did it to us. In fact, we wouldn't put up with that. No way. All the effort we go through to do what we do for the little we get. And I think it's only right, courteous, that you just contact the. It's basically customers ring up, say, can you put S-type or Arthur Francis on my seat or on my cover or whatever. I won't do it on lots of things, because when you're buying a Scoots and Soul seat, you're buying a Scoots and Soul seat. You won't go into Jaguar and say, oh, by the way, could you stick that BMW badge on there? You know, it's a bit like that. But there are certain things like the wheel covers and stuff that we just do as a general thing. This business is about Lambretta seats. Not Vespers, not Scamadis, not Royal Alloys, about Lambretta seats. And that's why it's hard, because obviously, like I said earlier, you know, the riders of Lambrettas are getting less and less and less. And even people like me, that, you know, a few years ago I was riding my scooters everywhere, especially this Jack the Ripper thing. I rode it everywhere. I don't now. One, I ain't got the time. Two, I can't be bothered. I'm having 80 Clarks doing a rear mudguard at the moment for me. I mean, it'll just sit under the panels, but that's what I get my pleasure out of. You know, so riding, yeah, I like to go out for a ride occasionally. The problem with this Bobby Womack one is I had a handmade downpipe. I had a handmade end can made for a guy, done a beautiful job. It's all gold plated and engraved, because it's quite small. It's very noisy, and when you're a 57-year-old bloke going through a little town, Saffron Walden up the road here, it doesn't have to draw attention. And when you're 20 years old, you're looking for attention, aren't you? But I'm not. Not my age. So yeah. But I don't want to get rid of the end can. It's too nice. Hence why I actually I've got Series 1 sitting on the bench here. That's going to be sold soon. That'll be going on eBay. It's a 1958 frame breather. But all I'm doing is using it for as a jig, really, for the seats. And it's too nice. Someone needs to enjoy it. So yeah, that'll be going up for sale. And if someone wants it, if they're looking at this going, oh, I'm going to contact him, get it, grab it or whatever, which you might, you'll have to messenger me. We talk numbers, as they say. Right. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. Sorry, waffling again. I shall show you how to put a zip on. There we go. Right. That's the slider. So you just get your zip. I hope you can see this, because I can't see what I'm videoing. Just pull them apart, like so. Put the rounded part round. This is good if you're sewing up someone's putting a zip in your underpants, your trousers. I was thinking pants, because everyone says pants now for trousers. Americanism, innit? Yeah, don't put a zip in your You can put a zip in your underpants if you want a zip in your underpants. Do it. Don't get your thingy caught in it, because that's painful. As all us men know as little boys. Alright, look, I'm doing it again, I'm not showing you. So you put the zip on one side, then you put this other part of the zip in there, like that, and then you pull the long bit, ta-da, and then you do that. I hope you can see this. Come on, you fucker. Right, there we are. You pull it like that, just like that, and there it is. So I stick that somewhere in the middle, because these are now going to get cut down. These are now going to get cut down, and they are going to get joined to this. So I will cut you off, and then come back to me. Oh well, we're back. So what we're doing now is we're going to go around the inside of this wheel cover, stitch size. Going to go around the inside of this wheel cover and just seal the edge with a stitch. Let's have a look. I mean, these cameras, honestly. Well, it's partly the camera, partly me. But if I've got my phone on, like my phone's on over there, and the screen's just lit up, I can see exactly what you can see on these cameras. Well, this camera, I haven't had to do any setting up on my phone or anything. Oh, battery low on my phone. That's what I've done then. This is going to have another stitch going around it, by the way. But there we are, look. Hello. It's there. Okay, so I've joined the border, but what I'm doing now, I've joined the border to the back piece, but what I'm doing now is putting another stitch in, going along around the same area, just literally to reinforce it. Obviously that helps make the cover very durable when you're pulling it on and off. There's little bits in between that I've not filmed that I've had to do. Things go, like with most things, you know, when I'm doing seats and that, little things go wrong, little stitch goes out or whatever. There's an awful lot of time and effort goes into one of these covers, a lot. When people are selling them out at under 100 quid or whatever they are, I don't know how they do it. I can only assume that they're either super fast, or the materials are not very good. I don't know. I don't really care. All I care about is what I do. Right, so this is half of it. We've got this joined so far. We're going to get the flap on, and then we're going to join it all together, and then we'll see what it comes out like. I'm excited if you're not. Well, hello. So back again. Yeah, Jane tried the design she was doing. It didn't quite work out how she wanted, so we've knocked that one on the edge. She's doing another design now. And while I was in the process, I don't know if you've noticed the mistake, and this is the trouble with talking while you're working, is that had black piping on when I was doing it. I'm pretty sure I filmed that. And now it's got silver flake piping on. And when we were looking at the pictures to do the embroidery on the flap, I looked at the picture and thought, oh, this is because I did a seat for this guy. Well, this guy's Kev. I did a seat for Kev, and it got silver flake on it with the red flake. So anyway, I sort of started the back again, and which is not a problem because I can use the other one for a normal cover. Yeah, so we're now attaching silver flake piping to the red flake main cover. As you saw, I've done it on the other bit, and then once Jane's come up with the design for this flap, well, actually, I'm going to join these bits together so that they'll have a border on, and then once I've got the flap, I'll do the flap, and then I'll join it all together. I'll show you a little bit more, but this video is going to go on way too long if we're not careful. I'll show you a bit more, and then I'll show you the end result. Hopefully, it's going to look nice. Well, finally back. That's taken quite a while. Anyway, we've ended up with a design. It's all got to be trimmed yet, but there it is. It's a Boogaloo Investigator. Let's take all this off the back, and then I'll start stitching this up, and then hope and pray that something don't go wrong, because If it does, got to start all again. See you in a bit. Okay, so back onto this phone. So I'm going to try and attach this now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a mark around the edge using the little technique my dad taught me. Just using my finger to go around the edge there. And that is going to be my line. If I can get it, I'm going to have to hold it up here. That's going to be my little line that I follow. Let's see if I can get my hand on that. That's the line. It's really difficult. Right, okay, I'm going to have to do it like that. So let's go like that. I'm videoing Jane. Say hello to the camera.
Oh dear.
So I'm not sure how this is going.
Well, there's your coffee.
So
not in a Scoots and Soul mug.
We'll have to call Nescafe. We'll have to be called Nescafe scooter seats. Got to save a fortune on merchandising. We just buy Nescafe bits.
That'd be good.
Anyway, that's. So I'm going to come in on this line here. So that white line, that's going to be my stitch mark. That will give me a little bit more selvage. When I actually turn it over, I've got a bit more meat to work with the top stitch. It'll be self-explanatory once I've done it, so bear with me. Oh, where's my little button? Yeah, look, there it is. I bet this don't work. I bet it's gone offline. Look, watch. If you go off now, it works. Rubbish. I forgot to record that, so I've now joined that to that. So I'm going to cut this off, turn it back on itself, and then see what occurs. It's so thick, this vinyl, it's really difficult to. I'm going to have to cut that, I think. Cut that round the edge there. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's turn this the right way and see what happens. The trouble with doing this with flake is that you can quite easily mark the flake badly, especially the old vintage stuff I've got. I've got old vintage flake, and as soon as you turn it back on itself, you've had it. So right, I'm going to get this sorted and then I'll come back to you, because maximum concentration. Right, back again. So this is like a surgical procedure. This is very nerve-wracking when you get to this point in a cover. So on this particular cover, I could have actually made one of our solo seats, hinge solo seats, in the same amount of time it's taken, or will be the same amount of time it's taken me to do this cover. Solo seats $350, this cover's $175. Yeah, it's a challenge, and it really is a challenge, this one. So that's going on to there. You can't see it. There we are. That's going on to there. Wish me luck, because this is the next. I'm going to have to turn the camera off, because if this goes wrong, I'm going to cry. Right, I've attached that to that. I'll leave the camera on now. Jane can always edit it if I start to cry. Let's have a look. Alright, I'll cut that off in a minute. Cut that off now. So what we do now, we turn this over. So I'm actually going to bond this down, and then I'm going to put a stitch. So I'm going to glue this flap down. I used to put a stitch running across here, but I don't like it, it's unsightly, so I now have it so it's just a nice clean line there, and I put a little stitch in either end just to hold that end down. So I'm now gonna glue that, and then yeah, I'll come back to you, because I've now got to go over to the other camera. I thought I'd turn this on. I'm just going to get some studs out. So Now what I mean by studs is, press studs. Now I'll get the press studs out. Two of those, two of those, two of those. And then I've got a little cutter. Let me grab my little cutter, I'll just show you what I've done. If anyone does, you know, uses press studs and stuff, what I've done is I've got a cutting die, whatever you want to call it, and then I've just threaded, oh, where are we there? I've just threaded one of these things onto, I've got my finger, bloody tape, onto the end. Because then what you do is when you put it into the corner, wherever you want it to go, you can see exactly where that is going to fall on the vinyl or the material, whatever you're doing. And then you can you know, you're consistent on both sides then. So that's I've found that a really good way to do it. So I'll let this glue go off, and then I'll do this over there. I'm not taking the camera. I will take the camera over there. It's my workbench for my scooters, but I'll take it over there, and then I'll show you how to do this. Okay, we're over at the workbench now. So what we're going to do is going to put these. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. If I move my hand that way. So what I do is I put that in the corner to avoid the stitch. I can see because of oh, it's come off. Oh, you wombat. All right, let's do that. Because that's on the end there, I can then lay that flat down like that. There's a stitch there, so I want to avoid that going onto the edge of the stitch, and I want to go through the whole cover like so. Yep, that's gone through. And I do exactly the same the other side. Nice and flat. Nice and flat. And then do exactly the same. Push it down. I know you can't see this, but I'm sorry, I have to really concentrate on this. That goes there, that goes there. I'll just double check. Where did that go? That went there and there. This one's going there. There. Flat, is it flat? Yeah, it's flat. Right. It's too late now anyway, whatever's happened. So if I put that up there, I've got my studs. Sure. I'm going to put that on there like that. I'm doing silver studs on this. The one I did yesterday, I did black studs. So silver ones on this. Let's have a look, see if it's gonna. Oh no, it should be okay. Just seeing if it when I put these studs on, it didn't bang the jolt the camera too much. So put one of them on there, one of them on there, and then where are we? That comes on there, that comes on there. Right. Okay. So I mean, you can buy machines, you know, that do this as such, but I don't need to. This is how I do it. I don't do masses and masses of covers. That's one on. If I was doing masses of them, I would buy a machine. Don't need it. I might buy one day. You don't want to overdo that because you end up distorting the stud. So there's the stud on there, look. And then we're going to go on to, I think this might be a two-part video because I've videoed so much of it. I just think it's more interesting if you're sitting there at night bored or whatever and you want to see how a cover's made, then probably be a good video. Otherwise it'll be rubbish. I think when you do these videos where you just whiz through, which seems to be the fashion nowadays, you don't really learn anything. There we go. So that stud goes onto there, and then let's push this one over here. So that in the back there, then we put the other piece on the top there, and I can guarantee that won't be dead flat when I do it because it's thick material and it will buckle up slightly. It will anyway, by the time you've got all your bits and bobs in there. There we are, there it is. So I will flatten it overnight, but there we are, look at that. So I'm going to go over to the other camera now. Let's see what's going on over there. Right, glue's sort of gone off, so I'm going to lock this down on the sides now. That's away. I'll put a little lock stitch in there. Tiny little one, need a tiny stitch on this. So that's going to go. Okay. And we have it on the side here. Oh, cool. It's so nerve-wracking doing these bits because you're right on the last bit. And I don't want to tempt fate by saying anything at the moment. Have we done that one that way? Right, cotton. And you don't push that cotton at the back there like that. Take the tension up sometimes. Oh my god, the problems that can cause. So we're going to go here. There we go. And then, where are we there? Just there. So they're little locking, I call them locking stitches. So basically what's happening is, I'll show you. It just, get the cotton off there. It literally just locks these little corners here, it locks them down. And it stops you having to put, this will be pressed, I will put this under pressure overnight, so this crease here is really defined, but it stops you having a stitch line all the way across here. Stops you having to, you get a much neater finish generally. So right, I'm going to go over to the other camera now and do the press studs. Okay, so we're now going to attach this part to this part. So I'll get my handy little clips out, and then I shall join this.
Your friends?
Still talking.
Which camera are you on?
That one. Yep. So I'm going to place that on there, and then I use these little clips, and then just put that basically in place, just on the central marks, and then once I've got those in place, then I shall be using these little clips to just go round, and then I can just go around it, and yeah. So right, we're going to go over to that. I'm going to just finish this and then we'll go over to that. Okay, so off we go. We are going to join these now. Bear with me because I have to really concentrate on this. Stitch a little bit small actually. That'll be better. So you mark these out, always mark these out the same, and generally they always come out a little bit different. Don't know why. Not much, but just fractionally. Sometimes you get them where they just fall in line. I'm talking about getting all like your centres together. So you do all your centres, and then I put these little clips around so that it all falls where it needs to fall. And sometimes it just things don't quite join up how they should. When I say as they should, I'm being mega fussy. I have to be. I always say to customers, because of the way I've learned how to do these things, I have to be judge, jury and executioner on this stuff. So try and make sure that when it goes out to a customer, it's as perfect as I can get it. The reason I've not turned the camera off on this bit is because this is almost like the big reveal. If you have watched this video from start to finish, thank you for one, because don't know if I'd want to watch me waffling on for however long this is going on for. But also maybe appreciate the end result like I do more than if you just see a cover. It's a bit like these programs on telly when you have how it's made. Like they're obviously a lot more polished than what I'm doing. This is just as real. Okay. Right, so that's one stitch. So that's going that way. Okay, now we turn it over and we do another stitch. And what that does, and it took me a long time to learn this, trust me, so anyone that is learning how to machine things like this, I'm just giving you a bit of a tip here. When you've got spongy vinyls, even on leather where there's a give, the foot will push up against it so far, and then when you turn it back on itself to see how the piping and everything's joined together, there's a gap. So if you turn it over and re-stitch it, it's then because it's already been stitched once, the sponginess is there, as opposed to there, we'll say, and then the foot can go even further, and most of the time you don't end up with a gap. So, but also, as long as you don't do too small a stitch, you end up with a much stronger seam. I can't wait to see this, honestly. Every time I do these things, when I did a blue metal flake solo hinge the other day, just randomly. It sold straight away. It was lovely. I get really excited when I'm doing stuff like that. I'm really excited about the dual seat that we've got underway at the moment. I really do think that's going to make a huge difference to not just us as a business, but this is about making life nicer, better for customers, you know, who buy our stuff. Because if you see one of our products on a scooter, and you've got a picture of before and after, generally they transform scooters. Bear in mind also that Jane does all the merch, so that's all in house, all embroidered by us, by her. There we go. That's all embroidered by Jane, designed by Jane. Right, so this is going to be the big reveal. The battery's going to die, so if I turn you off and then I turn this the right way round, because I have to warm the cover up so we don't get any crease in. I'll warm the cover up and then I'll give you the reveal, see what we've got. Decided to unveil this on here. I'm going to go and get a tyre and we'll put it on the tyre and we'll see what occurs. I'll also show you how to put these onto a wheel. Okay, bear with me. We've got a tyre. Let's have a go. I normally put cling film on the tyre when I'm fitting it onto a scooter. I just put cling film around the top of the tyre, especially if it's a light vinyl or leather. If it's white or anything like that, you're better off. Let's move back a bit. You're better off putting cling film around the tyre, because it actually helps protect the cover from getting dirty. Right, we're going to pull this over. So when you're doing this, there's a selvage around the edge. When I say selvage, I mean this little lump here. So what you want to be doing is you want to be pulling it so that the selvage is over. So it's really hard to explain, but the selvage, this bit, wants to be pulled over that way. It doesn't want to be down and then pulled over. Okay. both sides. I'll show you how to manipulate that. So let's pull this cover on. There we go. It fits nicely, which it should do anyway. That fits beautifully there. And what we do, so that's zipped around. And what we do, you get hold of the cover, and then you pull it across, and then you get the Velcro on there. You see that on the back there? Velcro next to each other. I'll just manipulate this a little bit. Let's have a look. And then what happens is I send a picture to the customer and he says, no, I don't like that. Who knows? It's not flat on the front there, and I've got to put liquid on it, and obviously I've got to work this a little bit. But let's show you the front anyway. There is Boogaloo Investigator's cover, handmade, industrial zip. Like this, lovely pocket in there, lovely big pocket in there. Put all your bits and bobs, telephone, whatever. And yeah, there it is. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel. There are other videos on there, but we will be doing more videos like this, explaining various methods of cleaning your seats, keeping the seats clean, blah blah blah. And also, if you want to see the other side of me and Jane, then go on to our other channel, which is The Cambridge's Wife Too Short. But yeah, please subscribe, thumbs up, any nice comments are appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you the next time. Adios.